the best bulk preps for your food storage. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. Put a caveat on that because we all eat different things, right? I hate to generalize. I hate to say these are the things that you should do because we are all in different situations. We all live in different areas, etc. But this is my list of some bulk goods you may want to think about adding in your preps, increasing your preparedness in this area, etc. Shelf life is key in this category. So let me start off first with some things that don't really have a shelf life. They don't go bad. I know where you're thinking. You're already thinking of some of them, aren't you? Before I go on though, please consider subscribing, hitting that thumbs up, ring the notification bell, and sharing the videos, as well as checking out the links in the description below. We got Patreon there. We got our other channel, Overlanding. A lot of fun, bugging out, basically. It directly relates. That's Haven Ridge Adventures here on YouTube. As well as Taylor Gibler Off-Road, good buddy, tribe member, awesome dude. Yeah. It's all about having fun. But let's talk about these bulk items. Salt, sugar, honey, never go bad. They may crystallize in the form of honey, but all you gotta do is heat it back up, melt it. Salt may clump together, but all you gotta do is dry it out. It's good to go. Same with sugar. So those are some good ones. And that was just off the top of my head, not in order on my list here. But, okay, baking soda and baking powder. Because when things go really bad, we won't be able to go to the store and just buy these things. We won't be able to go to the store and buy bread. We won't be able to go to our local bakery and buy bread or baked goods. We're going to have to figure out how to do it ourselves if we don't already know. Hopefully you already know. This is one of those skills that is very important as a prepper. Learning to cook from scratch. It may sound simple for a lot of people. A lot of people it's just second nature. But there's a lot of people out there that don't really know how to cook anything or make anything from scratch. Seriously. And to those people, if you're watching, just learn. I'm not knocking you. It's just a different way of life nowadays. We don't make everything from scratch like our ancestors did. But learning how to do so is vitally important. So that's some of the ingredients to help you do that. Let me see. Pasta. I don't know too many people that don't like pasta unless they are gluten/chemical intolerant. I've heard a lot of talk about that, about people, the whole gluten intolerance thing, and how it's probably not actually the gluten. It's probably all the chemicals and pesticides that they spray on the wheat, and maybe the genetic modification of said wheat. Finding actual real heirloom wheat is possible, but as far as I know, you have to order it from overseas, other countries. The stuff here isn't really wheat anymore. That's where I think that gluten intolerance thing comes from, but I could be wrong. Maybe it is the gluten. All right, but pasta. Because pasta is good to have in bulk because it's dry, it lasts really long time. It'll go bad, but if you store it properly, it'll last a long time. And then I like those, this is not really on this list, but maybe it should be. I'll add it. Here, it's on the list. There you go. Those blocks of Velveeta or melt and dip cheeses, great. Those things probably last forever, like Twinkies, right? Twinkies are on the list now. As of right now, Twinkies are on the list. Because Twinkies, I mean, seriously, they never go bad. So you gotta stockpile Twinkies. But no, seriously. That melt and dip, that, you know, some people call it fake cheese. You know, it's not the best for you, of course, but melt that over some pasta, bam, you got mac and cheese. You know, that's family favorite. I don't know too many people that don't like mac and cheese also. But anyway, don't stockpile things that you won't eat or that doesn't fit your dietary constraints. If you're vegan, don't stockpile meat. unless you plan on not being vegan after the apocalypse, which is viable, really. I mean, because in a pure survival situation, we're going to have to eat what we have to eat. A lot of stuff may go out the window. You may try to attain it at first, but long term, that stuff may have to just go out the window and may just have to eat whatever you can. So that's something to think about. I mentioned wheat, as in all this stuff, gluten, everything. Yeah, wheat lasts pretty much forever. If they've dug it out of Pharaoh's tombs thousands of years old and it sprouted, I'd say it's a pretty good bet to stockpile wheat. We like, my family, hard red wheat. Like stockpiling buckets of that. But to go along with that, make sure you have a manual grinder because you may not have the grid if you plan on making baked goods out of it. If you just want to boil it up as like wheat berries, like a cereal, like a morning, like a oatmeal type thing, you can do that. Or you can sprout it and it becomes exponentially more nutritious for you. Wheat sprouts, sprouts on the sandwich and stuff like that. I used to have an opinion about people that ate sprouts, but that's changed over the years because I know how nutritional they are. They may not taste the best, but, it's something to think about. And it's easy to sprout wheat. And it is seeds. So, like I said, though, because of the GMOing, you may not be able to plant them and regrow and reproduce. I highly doubt that works with wheat. I don't have the room to make a big wheat field here anyway, or to grow wheat, so I'm not really concerned about that. Beans. And along with that, you know what I'm going to say, rice. Store for a long time, but some of these things you got to think about how much water and time it takes to get these things ready to put on your plate to eat. A lot of water in dried goods. Beans and rice. But it is a staple for many around the world. And I feel that it's a staple probably for most preppers. Just make sure that whatever you're stockpiling, you have water stockpiled for, which is the best. But if you don't, which most people don't, have enough water really to meet all their needs over long term, of course. Identify sources of water in your area. Lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, backyard swimming pools, town water supplies, water tanks, reservoirs, all these kind of things. Springs, natural springs. If you can identify sources of those, great. While you're out doing your bug out practice and or just driving around your area, take different roads, see what is there, identify these kind of things. That's one reason, like I mentioned, the overlanding thing in Haven Ridge Adventures. I run that Gaia GPS app that I can put a pin on different things like water, waterfall, pond, lake, stream. We found a natural spring while we were out hiking. Boom, pin it. Now I get it. That's electronic format. So if we don't have our device with that data on it backed up on another device in a Faraday cage, we may lose that data. But it's still, a lot of it's still in here. So that's still important. But water is very important. We know that. Corn, also, dried corn. You can eat field corn, It's not the same as sweet corn, but I buy it in, 40-pound bags at Walmart for, I think they used to be like $10. And I think they're like $13 now. And yeah, it's feed corn, field corn, whatever you want to call it. It's not FDA approved for human consumption. I really don't care what the FDA has to say about a lot of things. Same with a lot of things in the government. But, whatever. I'll eat it. If the world's falling apart, it'll keep me alive. So this is important. So yes, let me just do a recap and probably think of a couple other things to put on the list while we're here. We got salt, honey, sugar, baking soda, powder. Oh, I missed one that I wrote down in my notes. Yeast. That goes along with that baking powder, baking soda, and the wheat and or flour. Flour, we stockpile some flour, but we try to rotate it because flour goes rancid. So You got to be mindful of that. Pasta, corn, beans and rice, and wheat, as well as the melt and dip, or the, I forgot the other name. I just mentioned it. Some things like that. So make it interesting, keep it interesting. Oh, and this got to be on the list. Got to be on the list. Got to be on the list. Spices, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, whatever you like. Cumin, turmeric. One we really like is curry. We really like curry. So make sure you got enough of that kind of stuff on hand. The things like the sugars, the honeys, the spices, all this stuff like that, because beans and rice are going to get really old if that's all you have to eat without any kind of seasoning. And we need salt in our diet. We get most of it from our diet though anyway. Come on, let's be honest. Especially as Americans, when most Americans eat, which I recommend not eating like most Americans eat. Eat healthy, whole, natural foods as God intended them, and you'll be much healthier. Get outside in the sun, exercise, drink lots of water, get proper sleep, take care of yourselves so you can be effective and healthy. Be there for your family and have the strength and the ability to do everything that you're going to have to do when the world falls apart, because listen to all the channels out there. The world's falling apart every day, yet we're still here doing the same old thing. So I don't even watch that stuff anymore. I don't listen to this stuff. I don't watch the news. I have almost zero information coming in, and I don't care, because you know what? I don't need to know what's going on in the world to know what I need to do to prepare. Preparation is simple. It's not easy. It takes time, takes effort, but honestly, I really don't care what's going on in the world. I care about others, of course, but current events, whatever. I mean, there's so many channels out there. The sky is falling every day, And it's good maybe in some situations to watch that kind of stuff because it motivates you to get on board. But I'm a self-motivator, so I don't need all that superfluous stuff. I just do what I know I need to do, keep on plugging on, doing the stuff. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.